Hi everyone. Last night I got a chance to meet with a group of beautiful ladies. We actually meet every week, and last night was my night to tell my story, and my story's pretty long. There's a lot of crap that I've been through, a lot. I mean, you name it, I could probably tell you I've been there, done that, from growing up in a home that was verbally, mentally, physically, sexually abusive, to running away when I was a teenager, to working at a very young age, to being in a wheelchair for 2 years, not being able to walk, and then I can walk again. I have heels actually right now. I just went for a hike. Cancer, my son almost died of meningitis. I mean, you name it, I've been there, right? And if you keep watching my videos, you'll hear one story at a time. But anyways, as I was talking about my story, there was a moment where I remembered a time where I had cancer. I believe this was during the COVID times, right? So I had cancer, and I had thyroid cancer. So I had like this big old ball after they took my thyroid out. I had shoulder surgery at the same time, single mom with 2 little ones, right? And both my kids were sick. At that moment in time, I mean, I couldn't even really take pain medicine because I had to be awake, right? I had to be able to cook. I had to be able to take care of them because they were sick. And as I'm telling this part of my story, I myself couldn't remember, like, how did I do that? Last week there was a gentleman that called me, and he's going through prostate cancer. He was telling me that he may not make it, past this year. So if you're watching, Jim, I'm thinking about you. Please give me a call, and I say Jim because there's a lot of Jims, right, in the world. So, but I do want you to call me back because I have something to say to you. But anyways, so this guy, Jim, he calls me, right? And he says, gosh, you've been through a lot. I haven't even been through half of that. And I've been through a lot of crap in my life. How do you continue to believe in God? How do you continue to move forward? And at that very moment, I told him, and I said to you, Jim, as much as I could, but I didn't say what was most important. Even last night to these ladies, I didn't tell you what was most important. What was most important was this, and it hit me this morning, and it's hit me in the past, but for some reason, I couldn't remember last night, I couldn't remember last week. And the reason is this: it wasn't me, guys. It wasn't my strength. People tell me all the time, you are so strong. No, I'm not. I can tell you wholeheartedly, I am not that strong. But what I will say is this: God is. God is that strong. One time there was this little piece of paper that fell right in front of me, and it said Philippians 4:13. Maybe you know this verse, maybe you don't. It says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Through Christ. It's God that has that supernatural strength. And if you would have known me, or even if you're hearing my stories, it wasn't me. Not on my own. It was God through me. He gave me the strength. He gave me the strength to be able to get up every morning and keep on pushing forward, and be able to take care of my little ones, and be able to keep moving on a day-to-day basis. So if he's done that for me, he will do it for you. But first, you have to give yourself wholeheartedly to him. You got to believe. Believe that he has the power to do so. Stop holding on to anything that's holding you back, and give it to him. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength.